I have a blower, a leaf blower over here. It's a Ryobi BP42. And I've had it for a few years now. It's required very little maintenance on it. I probably should have done more on it over time. However, I've always made sure it uses gas oil mix. I've never straight gassed it. And I have changed the carburetor because it was running like crap, and they're cheap. Now, I know some of you will say, well, having the stock carburetor is the best thing, and maybe so. But as I recall, I did a kit on it and it didn't change its behavior. So I put a new one in and I adjusted. The new one I had has adjustment screws, but the original one did not. And I think that's why I did it. And, you know, it's another one of those EPA things. You know, they'd rather have you have an engine that won't run right. You can't adjust it because if you take it out of factory adjustment, then it's putting out more emissions and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, that's going to be a moot point in the near future. They're going to all electric, battery operated stuff. And, you know, those are perfectly fine for the small yard homeowner. Now, my yard, yeah, I could probably get away with a battery one. I don't want to. I like the small engines. I like the power of them. I like the reliability. I like that I don't have a battery that runs dead and it costs me $300 to replace. You know, I did take a chance and bought a Toro hedge trimmer. Pretty nice one. They had it at Home Depot on clearance a couple years ago. And it's got that big old 60-volt battery. But after a year of only using it 2 or 3 times, I went to go and charge it, and the battery would not take a charge. And it wasn't because there was anything wrong with the battery itself. It's because there's a computer chip inside that talks to the charger. And if that chip does not tell the charger, hey, I'm ready to charge, it won't let you charge it. Now this kind, you just mix the gas oil 50-to-1, put it in there, and it runs. And even if it doesn't run great, it still does the job. And it doesn't just all of a sudden quit on you unless you really ignore it. Now, this is having some problems bogging. So that tells me that the carburetor probably needs to be cleaned up. Maybe it needs new gas. It definitely needs cleaning up. So that's going to be something I'm going to do. It really works well. I mean, it's a backpack blower. It's a consumer model, of course, being Ryobi. But the price on it was just over $200, I think, when I bought it. But I was surprised how well this funky looking blower works. I was really skeptical when I bought it, but for the price, I couldn't argue. And it has been very reliable. It has a lot of air pressure. You know, it's as noisy as any other of them. And it's not as big and bulky as some of those pro level ones. So it's perfect for my home use and even a little more. I mean, I could see light commercial using these. You know, and they've gone up a lot in price since I bought it. But I've been happily surprised with my use of this thing. So if you find one of these somewhere, don't be afraid. I mean, it does work well. It really does. So thanks. This is a trial video for my channel. And my dogs are ready to go in. It's well, I can't see what time it is, but I know it's late. It's got to be 10:30 or 11 by now, Pacific time. And they want to go inside. And here she is, just chewing on a piece of bone. She's happy. Oh, Oliver is too. This is Oliver. He's 5 years old. Basset hound. And then the one over here, that's more obnoxious, is Otis. Hi, Otis. He's a young'un. He's only a year old. But he thinks he's the boss. Whenever he doesn't like something, he's very jealous, so we pet the other dogs near him and he starts growling. Anyway, that's enough for now. So let's go out and see what it does. Put on the choke, pump the bulb that's not really working too good. It's got a leak. Put on partial choke, dying without choke. It's warm today, so it's not because it's cold. Got plenty of fuel. Choke off. We definitely have a fuel issue. Well, honestly, it's running better now than it was before, but let's get set up and have a look at it. Air filter's nice and clean. The mix screws are way down inside here. So that's supposed to be the mix screws. So we'll see if we can get to those because it definitely needs an adjustment. It looks like we need a Torx drive to remove the air cleaner cover. And it looks like that may be, it is, that is a T20. There's the affected, destroyed bolt that needs to be replaced. It looks like it's a snap in. Boy, that hose was barely in there. Kind of stiff too. It may need to be replaced. But this definitely needs to be replaced. See that? It is pretty cracked up. So this has little snaps. And it just snaps in like that. I'm just going to see if this will spread apart. Maybe it's glued. Either way, it needs to be replaced. Maybe they sell this at Home Depot, and that's where this thing came from. Hello again. A quick update on the Ryobi backpack leaf blower. So I went on to Amazon and looked at a maintenance kit for this, for the carb, because I need to replace that primer bulb, you know, this one. And the hoses probably should be replaced because they've gotten stiff. So I'll show you here in the picture. Here's what it'll cost to replace the hoses and the primer bulb. And then here is what it costs to replace the whole carburetor, hoses, primer bulb, fuel filter, everything to do with the fuel system. So, you know, for 15 bucks plus tax, I just replaced the whole thing. So maybe that's the easy way out, but you know, I'm betting that if I just get the Pac-Man screwdriver that adjusts these screws, that it'll fix the problem. While this thing is dirty, this is dirty on the outside, not necessarily on the inside. See, that piece just pulled out. But yeah, I just went ahead and ordered it. So it'll be here tomorrow. And then I'll finish up this video and we'll run it and see how it runs. Okay, so we have a little change up right here. It's time for doggy bones. Okay, everybody, who's gonna be good? Sasha's gonna be good. Here you go, Sasha. Good girl. Oh, Major's good. Good boy. Oliver, come over here, Oliver. Come here. Okay, sit. Sit, Oliver. Good boy. And Otis, sit. Sit, boy. Sit. Okay. Good boy. All right. Now they're satisfied. Now back to the show. It's now a couple days later, and the kit for the carb replacement came in. There's the new carb, adjustment tool, a new air filter, a new spark plug, new fuel filter, new primer bulb, new gasket, and the new fuel line, which was all about 15 bucks. All because I needed to replace that piece. But never hurts to keep stuff current and good shape. First we're going to clean this up.
Very important, don't cut it around the hole, because that will overcost fuel in the carburetor. As the surge will work from the engine, when you're running crankcase, create a pulse for pressure, then that distance goes down, and that pulses to the background here of fuel into the hole in there, and if you cut that hole, it's not going to run.
had to do a little review of where the hoses all went. So the take up from the filter goes to the supply in the bottom of the carburetor. Then it leaves the carburetor and goes to the pump. And then from the pump, it goes back and recirculates back to the tank. So when you pump it, you can see the flow priming the fuel into the carb, and then see all the air is going out of it. So if you got it backwards and it's squirting water, it's squirting gas directly into the carburetor, you wouldn't want that. It's not going to run probably at all like that. So now it's just a matter of putting this whole sandwich back together with the gasket in the correct direction. My major. I want that on the other side. There we go. Okay. Try this again. Accelerator cable came out. Well, I spared you the tedium of looking for my missing screw. I'm having to replace it with this similar screw. I'm sure it'll turn up when I go to clean up, but that's the one that's missing, one of them. This needs to be cleaned up. Get it clean when I was cleaning the other. These 2 cycles sure make an oily mess. And there it goes. Grip. Huh. Well. Okay, after some frustration about the the fuel leak dripping from the carburetor, and it was late last night, so I decided to stop. And but what I did was I opened up this diaphragm here, pulled the needle out, and just looked at it and tapped the carburetor a little bit in case there was something in there, and put it back together. And I'm just now, I put the fuel lines back together, and as you can see, it's drawing gas from the fuel filter into the carb and then returning it to the tank with the primer bulb. So that's good. But even better is that it's not dripping fuel anymore. So all I can guess is that the needle and seat were not quite making it on the seal with it being brand new, and it just needed to be reset. At least that's what I hope. So I'm going to install this back, and then we're going to try and run it. One missing thing. No drips. Well, that was more like it. Between the accelerator cable sticking and the carburetor not working properly and gummed up, replacing the carburetor did do the trick. Unfortunately, the first time around, it was leaking from the needle in the carburetor, and it happens on new carburetors, or anytime you mess with them, sometimes they don't quite align right. And after pulling it open and putting it back in, it stopped leaking. And it's much cleaner than it was. Every once in a while, these things need a cleaning, and it's really easy just to ignore it. So anyway, that should conclude this video, this adventure of my channel on my leaf blower. And we'll see you again on the next one. Thank you for watching. It occurred to me that some of you might want to see this thing in action, so here we go. Works like new, maybe better than new. So anyhow, thanks again for watching my video and coming to my channel. We'll have more varying things as we go along on this journey to my retirement to Tennessee. See you later.